everyone back to the Frank for Famous channel. I want to apologize to my viewers as I know I'm late to the party as Chelsea did play versus Aston Villa. I do apologize. I am in the process of moving to my new house, so it's taking up a lot of my time, but I will be posting a video on Wednesday and Thursday, so please look for that in your subscription. Without further ado, let's get it. What I want to dive into today is talking about some pros and cons from Chelsea's 2-1 win over Aston Villa. So the first thing we saw was the lineup that Frank Lampard had chosen. I did have some questions, but I did realize that we needed some experience also with the youth. So I trusted Frank Lampard's mindset, and I knew he had a great plan to why we were playing some of these players who are going to either be sold or out of contract. First hand, what we are starting to see is Ruben Loftus-Cheek is having the opportunity to get some game time after having that injury. You can see that there's a lot of rust on him. I mean, just the fact that the position he's playing more closer to the forward, it didn't suit him so well as with Aston Villa playing so deep and so compact, it didn't give him enough room to express himself, as we do know that Ruben Loftus-Cheek is a player who likes to run at his opponent with strength and speed and find quick gaps in the defense to curl balls on either side of the goalie's pole. But it was difficult for him. You could definitely see that he wasn't having enough intensity in his game, enough energy. There was moments where he kind of disappeared from the field, and that is all expected from coming from an injury, then having about almost 3 to 4 months off, and then trying to play or come back and play in the Premier League. He's definitely going to need that time to adjust, but you can definitely see he's going to be playing a big role in Lampard's team in the future. One person I want to give real great praise to is Mason Mount. His energy, his intensity, to me sometimes I look at it like he's always giving 100%. That's on defense, on offense, and he came really close to testing the goalkeeper with his left foot. It's a beautiful shot. It's wonderful having such a young talent in the team who is going to fight for that Chelsea badge each and every game that he is getting the opportunity to express his skill set. So Mason Mount, keep doing what you're doing. You are a wonderful player, and we can only imagine how much you're going to grow with having Frank Lampard as your coach, your idol, and someone who you can one day be close to being a legend in Chelsea Football Club. Let's talk about some cons. We're going to start there because we're seeing the same mistakes that cost us goals time in and time out. But let's start off with our crosses. Aspilicueta, Alonso, their crosses are poor, hitting the first man. Our strikers are trying to get somewhere in the box so they can position themselves to have the opportunity to score goals. Every single time they crossed the ball, it was either hitting the first man or it was going out of bounds. Yes, that is something that we can understand as they are rusty. This is the first game. They're playing in an environment that's unusual with no fans to help give them that energy. So you're going to see some lack of motivation sometimes. Be better at what you do. We also saw that when Alonso would swing in the ball, it's like he's not looking for a target. I think when I look at him, I'm like, the way he's playing is, how can I just get a ball in and let my strikers do their work? But you have to find a man, you have to find a target. Maybe send the ball in without going straight down the line and crossing it. Do it unexpectedly, catch the defense sleeping. We didn't see that enough, and that was disappointing because Giroud is there, who is a great header of the ball, and we have poachers who are trying to get into the box. But how do you expect them to continue to feel confident about making those runs when the ball is just bouncing off the first man and not even reaching them? So that is something that we need to consistently work on if we want to be able to take advantage of our offensive talent, take advantage of defenders when they are not fully aware of where their man is. That's the only way we're going to be able to get these goals when we're crossing these balls. But it's always going to start from our left back and right back. It was sad not seeing Reece James start, but like I said from the beginning, we needed some experience in there with the youth, and Frank Lampard knows exactly what he was doing when it came to that. Another thing that is just driving me nuts: why are we always getting scored on from corners or from players sending the ball in the box? It's so disappointing to have these strong defenders, and every single time when a ball gets crossed into our box, like, I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm stressing out. It's ridiculous that we continue to get scored on, and it's like our defense is not even there. We had literally Rudiger and Giroud in the back, and 3 of Aston Villa's players. Where's the rest of our defenders? They had so much time in the box that 2 players from Aston Villa was able to touch the ball before a shot was taken and scored on. Yet again, we're going 1-0, and now we're playing catch up. I can't understand that, and there's something we need to figure out on our structure and why we fall asleep when teams are sending balls into our box. They're going to be able to point out some weaknesses in our team, and that is very detrimental to us progressing and becoming the best team in Europe. Yes, some blame can be pointed out on Kepa that he shouldn't have blocked the ball into the box, because he knows that is giving an opportunity for the attacking team to get a second chance. You can definitely blame him on that, but you gotta blame our defense, and you gotta blame our players for not getting back and trying to get the ball out of the box, because we want Kepa to be dominant. We want him to be that figure in the back, but there's only so much he can do if he's not having his defenders be solid and leaving gaps and leaving holes for him to be basically taken advantage of when it comes down to it. So it's something to where I want to see some real development there. If we need to take time to just really focus on the defense, or bring in some heavy power back there, because if we're not going to be scoring goals off the bat and playing catch up, it's going to be a long season. Regardless of the attack that we're seeing and the speed of play, Aston Villa didn't have the ball for the majority of the game. But the opportunities that they received and they were able to score was just poor. So we gotta see some change there, you guys. This can't keep happening. Not to our football club. Alright, so that's enough for the negatives. Let's jump into some pros, because we saw some great things from our club. Specifically, the intensity was amazing from the start. We were pressing and pushing Aston Villa back so far that their forwards, whenever they would get an opportunity to receive the ball, two of our defenders are crashing on them. Christensen, Rudiger, Conte, just smothering their players. It was amazing to see how our players are playing so quick, creating diamonds around the defenders, one-touch passes, movement, switching the field. Willian, great game he had. He showed youth in that game, just blowing by his defenders, sending in some beautiful balls into the box. He had that opportunity with his left foot, which, rust. That's what you're going to be expected of. But to see that intensity from the start, that's beautiful, because that is what we were missing during the beginning of the season. We would come starting the first half asleep, and then the second half, all of a sudden we woke up and then there was an intensity. No, we need to be pressing the teams from the get-go to break down whatever tactic they had. That's what I want to see. It was beautiful football from everyone, but when we got into the final third, that is where we weren't showing our skill set. That is where we were showing a lack of will to score a goal. We are a team that can create opportunities, but when it comes to that final third, it's like we just forget what we're doing and how we got there. That is a problem and an issue, and that is why Frank Lampard is trying to correct it with bringing in these players who are able to play one-touch football, who are able to find players who are open, also find players who are in positions to draw defenders to them and lay it off, so then our strikers, our midfielders have an opportunity to score easy goals. I didn't see too many shots being taken outside the box, which is understandable because the defense was so compact that every shot would just hit one defender and come straight back to Chelsea. I know I was saying that with Aspie, the balls that he was sending into the box was poor, but he had a beautiful 60-minute assist to Christian Pulisic coming off the bench at halftime. It's shocking. This man needs to be starting. He is a poacher. His mindset is like a striker. He knows if he gets into the box, he's gonna have more of a higher statistic of an opportunity to score a goal. And we just saw it firsthand. Coming in, left foot in the goal, 60-minute, beautiful ball played by Azpilicueta that went over Giroud and just landed straight into Christian Pulisic's foot and into the back of the net. Amazing. I was so happy that we're starting off on a good foot in the second half, and like I said, Christian Pulisic needs to be playing. So much intensity, one-touch pass, coming back and playing defense, making sure to be in the right positions to receive the ball. I mean, he was doing everything. Captain America, man, we need to push him, because he understands that he has that price tag in his head, but he's not going to let that affect him, because he knows his skill set. He's going to do the talking with his feet, regardless if he's a shy player. That's fine, but we need to put real trust into him. Again, Aspie with the 68-minute assist to Giroud on the left-hand side. It's beautiful, beautiful football that we're playing. And now we're seeing these crosses come in as we're looking for targets, when Giroud was able to control the ball and strike it into the goal with his opposite foot, coming off a deflection of an Aston Villa defender, putting us up 2-1. Chelsea began to just dominate the game from there and just playing beautiful football. Aston Villa started pressing, started putting pressure on us. We had some opportunities where Rudiger, for instance, tried to do a back pass, which was shocking to see, but luckily it didn't get too far away from him, which he was able to catch back to the ball and keep control of it, which that could have been a very bad situation because Aston Villa's player would have been on goal. But we saw some amazing football, you guys. Frank Lampard knows he's under pressure, but we can see exactly from the time that they have been training to get back onto the field where his focus has been on. Intensity, intensity, intensity. We have the players who are able to do it. We just need to continue to build that structure around our intensity on offense and our intensity on defense. No more falling asleep, you guys. Let's take care of business and get this top 4 place. So you guys, please let me know what you think about what I discussed today. Did you see things to where you felt like were shocking when it came to our defensive end, which has been poor since the beginning of the season? And what do you think were going to be ways to fix that? And also, do you feel the same way I feel about Christian Pulisic? He needs to be starting. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. All right, everyone. Please don't forget to like. Also, please don't forget to subscribe. And I look forward to speaking with you soon. Come on, Blues!